Hello, beautiful listeners, and welcome back to Green Earth Essentials. Today, we're diving into a hot button topic that's been stirring up a lot of buzz lately: seed oils. If you've spent any time scrolling wellness blogs or nutrition debates online, you've probably heard claims that seed oils are toxic, inflammatory, or even the hidden cause of modern disease. But is it really that simple? Are these oils actually dangerous? Or is this another case of marketing spin mixed with half-truths? Let's untangle the myths, the science, and the practical choices we can make in our kitchens. First, let's get clear on definitions. Seed oils are vegetable oils extracted from the seeds of plants, and the main ones you'll see in the modern food supply are soybean, corn, sunflower, safflower, cottonseed, rapeseed, better known to most of us as canola oil, and grapeseed oil. They're different from oils like olive oil or coconut oil, which are pressed from fruits. With olive oil, you simply crush the olive and press out the juice, separating the oil with minimal processing. Seed oils, however, don't yield their fat so easily. The oils are locked inside tiny seeds, which means industrial processes are usually required to extract them at scale. Typically, this involves very high heat and mechanical pressure. Sometimes chemical solvents such as hexane are used to pull the oil out of the seed material. Once extracted, the crude oil is refined to improve its color, flavor, and shelf life. This refining process can involve bleaching, deodorizing, and heating the oil to stabilize it, which strips out many of the natural compounds found in the original seed. The end product is a neutral tasting oil that's cheap, consistent, and highly resistant to spoilage. Because of these properties, seed oils quickly became staples in packaged foods and restaurant kitchens. Their high smoke point makes them useful for deep frying, and their long shelf life means manufacturers can stockpile them without fear of rancidity. If you've ever looked at the ingredient label of chips, crackers, baked goods, or fast food, there's a good chance you've seen soybean oil, canola oil, or sunflower oil listed near the top. In fact, soybean oil alone now accounts for a large percentage of the added fats in the average American diet. So, when we talk about seed oils, we're not just talking about a drizzle of cold pressed sunflower oil on a salad. We're talking about a family of industrially processed oils that have woven themselves into the fabric of modern processed food culture. So, how did seed oils come to dominate our plates? The story begins in the late 1800s and early 1900s, during a time when industrial agriculture was looking for ways to turn waste products into profit. Cottonseed oil was one of the first. For decades, cottonseed was considered inedible garbage, used mostly for lamp oil or fertilizer. But once refining processes were developed to make the oil palatable, it was transformed into a cheap cooking fat and marketed as a substitute for butter or lard. This paved the way for products like Crisco, introduced in 1911, which was essentially hydrogenated cottonseed oil shaped into a solid shortening. It was advertised as modern, clean, and more convenient than animal fats, and it quickly became a household staple. By the mid 20th century, soybean oil emerged as the undisputed king of seed oils. Soybeans were already being grown in massive quantities as animal feed, so extracting oil from them was a natural next step. After World War II, when food supplies were tight, and industrial farming expanded rapidly, soybean oil filled the gap as a cheap, versatile fat. By the 1960s and 70s, it had overtaken butter and lard in the American diet, driven in part by public health campaigns that linked saturated fat to heart disease. Replacing animal fats with heart-healthy vegetable oils was considered progress, and seed oils became the cornerstone of this nutritional shift. Globally, other oils followed similar paths. In Europe, rapeseed was refined into what we now call canola oil, engineered to remove bitter compounds and make it safe for human consumption. In the Mediterranean, sunflower oil production scaled up, while in California, the wine industry's leftover grape seeds became the source of grapeseed oil. By the 1980s and 90s, these oils were firmly entrenched not only in home kitchens, but also in the processed food industry, fast food chains, and global commodity markets. Compare that with traditional fats, which were deeply tied to geography and culture. Olive oil in the Mediterranean, coconut and palm oils in tropical regions, ghee in India, or animal fats in colder climates. In just a few generations, the Western world shifted from fats that had been used for centuries to highly refined seed oils that were only made possible through industrial processing. This rapid change in dietary fat sources is at the heart of today's controversy. Are we thriving on this modern experiment or still trying to adapt? When we talk about seed oils, the spotlight usually falls on their fat composition. Unlike oils such as olive or coconut, which are rich in monounsaturated or saturated fats, seed oils are dominated by polyunsaturated fatty acids, PUFAs for short. The most abundant of these is an omega-6 fatty acid called linoleic acid. Our bodies can't make linoleic acid on their own, which means it's considered essential. We need it for building cell membranes, producing signaling molecules, and supporting normal growth and development. But the story doesn't end there. Omega-6 fatty acids share space in the body with omega-3 fatty acids found in foods like flaxseed, chia, walnuts, and algae. Both omega-6s and omega-3s compete for the same enzymes that convert them into bioactive compounds called eicosanoids. These eicosanoids regulate everything from blood clotting to immune response to inflammation. The catch: omega-6 derived eicosanoids tend to be more pro-inflammatory, while omega-3 derived ones lean anti-inflammatory. In a balanced system, that push and pull is healthy. It's what allows us to fight infections, heal wounds, and regulate immunity. But when omega-6s dominate, the scale tips toward chronic low-grade inflammation, which is linked to many modern health problems. Historically, humans probably consumed omega-6 and omega-3 fats in close to equal proportions, perhaps a ratio of 1:1 or 2:1. Today, thanks in large part to the widespread use of seed oils, the average Western diet skews heavily toward omega-6s, with ratios as high as 15:1 or even 20:1. That imbalance is one reason seed oils attract criticism. It's not that linoleic acid is inherently bad, it's that the modern food environment has flooded us with it, while at the same time stripping away many natural sources of omega-3s. To complicate matters further, not all PUFAs in seed oils behave the same way. For instance, flaxseed oil and chia oil are rich in alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 which the body can convert, though inefficiently, into longer-chain omega-3s like EPA and DHA. Sunflower and safflower oils, depending on the variety, can be very high in linoleic acid, but some high oleic versions have been bred to contain mostly monounsaturated fat, making them more stable and less inflammatory in theory. So, when you look at the nutritional profile of seed oils, it's important to remember that they're not one monolithic category. They sit on a spectrum, and their health effects depend on balance, processing, and the context of the overall diet. This is the point where seed oils step into the nutritional boxing ring. On one side, you'll hear claims that they're toxic, inflammatory, and at the root of everything from obesity to heart disease. On the other, you'll see large studies suggesting they can actually reduce cardiovascular risk when used in place of saturated fats. The truth is far more nuanced, and it starts with how these oils behave inside our bodies. A major concern with seed oils is their susceptibility to oxidation. Polyunsaturated fats are chemically less stable than saturated or monounsaturated fats. When exposed to high heat, light, or oxygen, they can break apart and form compounds called lipid peroxides. These unstable molecules can in turn generate free radicals, highly reactive particles that damage cells, proteins, and DNA. If the body can't keep up with repairing that damage, oxidative stress builds, which is one of the pathways linked to chronic conditions like heart disease, cancer, and neurodegenerative disorders. This is one reason critics caution against using seed oils for deep frying, where high heat and repeated use of the same oil accelerate oxidation. Another layer of concern is inflammation. As we discussed earlier, omega 6 fats like linoleic acid are converted into signaling molecules that can promote inflammatory responses. In the right context, inflammation is a lifesaver. It's how the body fights infection or heals an injury. But the modern imbalance of omega 6 to omega 3 fats may keep the body in a low grade inflammatory state. This smoldering inflammation is increasingly recognized as a common thread behind many chronic diseases, from type 2 diabetes to arthritis. Some small studies and animal research suggest that very high intakes of linoleic acid might amplify these pathways, but translating that to real world human diets is complicated. It's also worth noting that many of the studies linking seed oils to health problems don't isolate the oils themselves. They're looking at processed foods that happen to contain these oils. French fries fried in soybean oil aren't just delivering the oil, they're also delivering refined carbs, salt, and advanced glycation end products formed during high heat cooking. It's difficult to separate the oil from the company it keeps. On the flip side, large meta analyses of human trials have found that replacing saturated fats with polyunsaturated fats, including seed oils, lowers LDL cholesterol and may reduce heart disease risk. The American Heart Association still recommends them for this reason, but skeptics argue these studies often focus on refined oils in isolation, not on long term whole diet patterns. Some researchers are now questioning whether lowering cholesterol through seed oils really translates into better long term health outcomes, or whether the story is more complicated. So, are seed oils harmful? The evidence doesn't give us a simple yes or no. They can oxidize under certain conditions, and too much omega 6 relative to omega 3 may promote inflammation. But in moderate amounts, and especially when replacing more harmful fats, they don't appear to be the dietary villains some make them out to be. The real problem may lie in the modern food environment. We don't just use seed oils sparingly, they're woven into the very fabric of processed foods we eat daily, often without realizing it. It's important to remember that not all seed oils are created equal, and lumping them all together can oversimplify the picture. The way an oil is produced makes a tremendous difference. Cold pressed and minimally refined seed oils often retain more nutrients and bioactive compounds than heavily processed industrial grade oils used for deep frying. Take sunflower oil, for example. While refined versions are common in packaged snacks, cold-pressed sunflower oil is actually a rich source of vitamin E, a fat-soluble antioxidant that helps protect cell membranes from oxidative stress. Vitamin E also plays a role in skin health and immune function, making this version of sunflower oil a far cry from the vats of oil bubbling in a fast food fryer. Flaxseed oil offers another perspective. Unlike most seed oils, it's one of the richest plant-based sources of alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a type of omega-3 fatty acid that supports cardiovascular and brain health. While ALA isn't as potent as the long-chain omega-3s found in fish, research shows it can still reduce inflammation markers and contribute to overall balance in the diet. The key is that flaxseed oil should never be heated. It's best used cold, drizzled over salads, or blended into smoothies, where its delicate fatty acids stay intact. Grapeseed oil, often a byproduct of winemaking, contains polyphenols and plant compounds that may help reduce inflammation and oxidative stress. Some studies suggest that grapeseed oil may improve skin elasticity and wound healing when applied topically, while culinary uses can provide a neutral flavored oil that doesn't overwhelm dishes. Even canola oil, which gets a lot of criticism due to its industrial processing, has a profile that includes omega-3s and monounsaturated fats. When sourced as cold pressed or expeller pressed and used in moderation, it may not be as problematic as its reputation suggests. Research also highlights potential cardiovascular benefits when seed oils are used as replacements for saturated fats. Studies show that diets swapping butter or lard for polyunsaturated oils can reduce LDL cholesterol levels, which is one reason health organizations still recommend them in certain contexts. The bottom line is this: context matters. The seed oil lurking in ultra-processed packaged snacks or the fryer at your favorite fast food chain is not the same as a thoughtfully sourced, cold-pressed oil drizzled over a nourishing homemade meal. Used wisely, certain seed oils can contribute antioxidants, essential fatty acids, and protective compounds that support heart health, skin health, and even hormone balance. This is where the real difference lies. Cold-pressed or expeller-pressed oils are extracted mechanically at low temperatures, which helps preserve antioxidants and nutrients. Refined oils, by contrast, are stripped, bleached, and deodorized, which removes not only impurities but also the beneficial compounds. And then there's cooking. PUFAs are less stable under high heat, meaning they can oxidize more easily. That's why olive oil or avocado oil, rich in monounsaturated fats, are often better for sautéing or roasting, while delicate oils like flax or walnut should stay raw in dressings or drizzles. So, what are the go to plant based oils for a holistic lifestyle? One of the most celebrated options is extra virgin olive oil. Often considered the gold standard, it's rich in monounsaturated fats and protective compounds called polyphenols. These properties make it ideal for low to medium heat cooking, as well as for drizzling over salads, grains, or roasted vegetables to add both flavor and nourishment. Avocado oil is another excellent choice. Like olive oil, it's packed with heart-healthy monounsaturated fats, but it has the added advantage of being more heat stable. This makes it perfect for stir fries, roasting, and other cooking methods where higher temperatures are used. It's versatile, neutral in flavor, and works well in both savory and sweet recipes. Then there's coconut oil, which is unique because it's mostly made up of saturated fats. That composition makes it very stable at high heat, so it's a reliable option for baking or frying. However, it remains controversial in heart health research. Some studies suggest it may raise good HDL cholesterol while others warn of its effect on bad LDL cholesterol. Because of this, coconut oil is best enjoyed in moderation rather than as your everyday go to. Finally, flaxseed oil deserves a mention for its high omega 3 content, making it a rare plant based source of this essential fatty acid. The catch is that flaxseed oil is highly delicate and should never be heated. Instead, it shines when used cold. In smoothies, salad dressings, or drizzled lightly over finished dishes. The key takeaway is to match the oil to the job and prioritize variety over rigid rules. By rotating oils and choosing the right one for the right purpose, you can enjoy both flavor and health benefits without falling into the trap of nutrition dogma. So, how do we navigate this seed oil debate in real life? First, check labels. Processed foods are the biggest source of cheap, refined seed oils. Second, diversify your fats. Think beyond bottled oils and incorporate whole food sources like nuts, seeds, olives, and avocados. Third, balance omega 6 and omega 3 intake by including chia seeds, hemp seeds, walnuts, or even algae based omega 3 supplements. And remember, oil is calorie dense. A little goes a long way, and using less while focusing on whole foods can have a huge impact. To wrap up, seed oils aren't the pure villains some make them out to be, but they're also not a free for all. The way they're processed and how much we consume makes all the difference. Instead of fearing oils, we can take a mindful approach. Choose minimally processed options, balance omega 6 with omega 3, and use oils as part of a varied whole food diet. I'd love to hear from you. Which oils do you use most in your kitchen? And are you thinking about making any changes after today's episode? Share your thoughts with me. You can connect through social media on my blog at greenearthessentials.business.blog. And check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Green Earth Essentials. Thanks for listening. Until next time, nourish yourself with awareness and intention. This is Michelle Jackson, signing off.